Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to the What a Deck profile for the Bishbaalkin Troll OTK deck, as brought to you by Patreon sponsor Smash. I'm just going to go through everything in here, and then I'll explain how it works. So for monsters, we're playing 3 Blue Eyes White Dragon, 3 Dragon Core Hexer, 3 Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon, 3 Grinder Golem, 3 the White Stone of Ancients, and 3 the White Stones of Legends. And then for spell traps, we've got 3 Return of the Dragon Lords, 3 Trade-In, 3 Cards of Consonance, 3 Hidden Armory, 3 Summoner's Art, 3 Twin Twister, 3 Silver's Cry, and 1 Big Bang Shot. Our extra deck contains 1 Synchro in the form of Phantasmal Lord Ultimi Bishbaalkin, 3 Ixies, number 95 Dark Matter Dragon, Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon, and Lancelot, and then a whole bunch of Link monsters. We've got 1 Boral Load, 1 Skull Deet, 2 Firewall Dragon, 1 Akashic Magician, 2 Security Dragon, 2 Link Spider, and 2 Link Kuriboh. The side deck, I'll go over in a little bit. So, if you haven't gathered it from the name already, this is a Troll/OTK deck, which is centered around this card, which I'm just going to call Bishbaalkin. Its wall of text reads, this card's original level is always treated as 12, for some reason. Cannot be synchro summoned. Must be special summoned from your extra deck by sending 2 level 8 or higher monsters you control with the same level to the graveyard, 1 tuner and 1 non-tuner, and cannot be special summoned by other ways. It cannot be destroyed by card effects. This card gains 1,000 attack for each monster on the field, and once per turn, during either player's main phase, you could special summon the same number of tokens that are 0 attack, 0 defense, level 1, on each side of the player's field in defense position, so that you summon as many as possible. Also, this card cannot attack for the rest of this turn. So basically what you're doing is, you summon this thing, assuming that your opponent has no clear field, maybe this is first turn. You summon tokens until you both have full fields of tokens, 5 on each side of the field, and this guy gets 1,000 attack for every monster on the field, so he'll have 11,000 with himself, plus a full field of tokens. Of course, you can't attack the turn that you use that, but if you could survive for 1 turn, we have a lot of ways to search out Big Bang Shot, which is an equip card, that the equipped monster gains 400 attack, and it does piercing damage. So you get this, you put it on Bishbaalkin, you attack into the 0 defense tokens, and with piercing damage, you do 11,000 damage directly, and OTK your opponent. Now, in order to summon this thing, you need a level 8 tuner and a level 8 non-tuner. We've got 1 tuner, it's Dragon Core Hexer, it's a normal dragon-type monster, which gives it a lot of synergy with the Blue Eyes archetypes. Things like Trade-In you can use on either one of these. Same thing with Silver's Cry will let you summon a dragon normal monster from your graveyard. Return of the Dragon Lords let you summon a level 7 or 8 dragon monster from your graveyard. So you've got a lot of ways to discard this, both with this and things like Twin Twisters. You could search it out with Summoner's Art. And then once you get it in the graveyard, you've got 6 cards that can get it out of the graveyard. As for your level 8 non-tuner, you're either going to put Blue Eyes into the graveyard and summon it the same way with one of these spells. You can also summon Blue Eyes by putting the White Stone of Ancients in the graveyard. If this is in the graveyard during the end phase, you can summon a Blue Eyes from your deck. Or you could summon Alternative White Dragon, which you could special summon from your hand if you have a Blue Eyes in your hand. Which again, you could search Blue Eyes with Summoner's Art as well as the White Stone of Legend. If this card's sent to the graveyard, add 1 Blue Eyes Dragon from your deck to your hand. So you get this or Blue Eyes on the field along with Dragon Core Hexer, and there's your Bishbaalkin. If you want, you can also make rank 8 Ixies, although I only run a couple of them and I don't really use them all that much. As for the tuners, we're not really playing any synchros. You can play some level 9 and 8 synchros, or even some level 1s to synchro with the Bishbaalkin tokens if you want. I pretty much just use these for draw power. As I said, if this goes to the graveyard, you're getting your Blue Eyes. If this goes to the graveyard, you're summoning Blue Eyes. And we're playing 3 cards of Consonance, which let you discard either one of these to draw 2 cards. So pretty simple, pretty linear for the most part. You're just using those to draw through everything, get those 2 monsters on the field, and then make Bishbaalkin. And then you've got Hidden Armory. This is send the top card of your deck to the graveyard to add 1 equip spell from your deck or graveyard to your hand, but you cannot normal summon or set during the turn you use this. We don't really normal summon or set. You could set these as a last resort if you don't have anything, but this is special summoned. These are special summoned out of the graveyard. So most of the time, this isn't a hindrance. You're just going to use this to grab your Big Bang Shot either from your deck, or if it's already in the graveyard, you can get it back, and then do a bunch of piercing damage. And like I said, really that's just the deck for the most part. Although if you know me, I don't really like linear, like OTK decks. A lot of decks that are like this, what ends up happening is you either get your OTK and you win, or you don't, or you get disrupted, and then you just lose, and you have no backup plan. We have a little bit of backup because you can use the blue eyes to attack alternative white dragons pretty nice. And then we just have our one tech card, which actually ends up being the star of the deck more than I would like. But it switches things up a little bit, and that's Grinder Golem. I put it in here mostly because it's a trade-in target, being another level 8, so you have another thing you can discard to draw 2 cards. But there's also a whole bunch of link shenanigans you can do with this. If you're unfamiliar with it, it can't be normal summoned or set, must first be special summoned from your hand to your opponent's side of the field by special summoning 2 Grinder tokens with 0 attack, 0 defense in attack position on your side of the field. And if you special summon this monster, you can't normal summon or set a monster during that turn, which again, we don't really normal summon or set. So generally how this works, you special summon this to your opponent's side of the field, and you get 2 tokens. You swap out those 2 tokens for Link Kuribohs or Link Spiders, or a combination of those 2. Those are both Cyberse monsters, so once you've got both the tokens replaced with these, you can link them together to make Akashic Magician. It's 2 monsters with the same type, except tokens. Akashic Magician will send back to the hand any card that it points to, so as long as you summon this in front of the extra monster zone, you can get your Grinder Golem back by summoning Akashic Magician. Then you summon Grinder Golem again, get 2 more tokens, and you use those 2 tokens to make Security Dragon, which is just any 2 monsters. While this is on the field, if it's co-linked, you can target one monster your opponent controls and return it to the hand. Since you already have the Akashic Magician pointing down, this will be in the space under it, so it'll be co-linked with Akashic Magician. You could send Grinder Golem back to your hand, and then special summon it again. This time with those 2 tokens, what you're going to do is get one of your Link Kuribohs, which you should have from the first time. This has the effect that if it's in the graveyard, you contribute a level 1 monster to special summon it from the graveyard. Because the Grinder tokens are level 1, you can trade one of them out, and then you'll have 4 monsters on the field: a token, Link Kuriboh, Security Dragon, and Akashic Magician, which you can use to go into your Link 4 monsters. We're playing 2 Firewall Dragons, because this is any monsters. You can actually just make this with the tokens if you want to, and this also has some shenanigans, but I don't really use that most of the time. Most of the time, if I really need to beat down, I'm going for Borrowload Dragon, just because it's a really strong boss monster. Or if I'm still trying to go for the OTK, Skulldeet, the Chained Draco Serpent. This is 2+ monsters with different names, which is why it's important to trade out the Link Kuriboh, so you have 4 monsters with different names. And it gains effects depending on how many monsters were used for its summon. 2 or more, any monster it points to gains 300 attack and defense, which is alright. 3 or more, you can special summon 1 monster from your hand, which can be good for just sort of like putting another blue eyes on the field and attacking. And probably most importantly, if you use 4, when it's link summoned, you can draw 4 cards, and then place 3 cards from your hand on the bottom of your deck in any order. And like I already pointed out, we have a lot of draw power, we have some search power, and really you only need a couple cards to make up your combo. So oftentimes, if I don't quite have my combo, I'll make Skulldeet, and hopefully by drawing those 3 and putting some cards that are extra on the bottom of your deck, you'll have what it takes to make your Bishbaalkin. This is even better if you can accomplish this, because you can make Bishbaalkin, summon the 4 tokens, and then use them to make Firewall Dragon, since this will be in your extra monster zone instead of Bishbaalkin. And really, that's pretty much the deck. Try to make Bishbaalkin, try to TrO.llT.K for a lot of damage. If that doesn't work, do a bunch of link shenanigans, make Firewall Dragons and send stuff back to the hand, make Skulldeet, make Borrowload Dragon. And if that doesn't work, you've still got Blue Eyes beat down, you've still got rank 8 Ixies. The side deck is mostly just other options. You could put Dragon Spirit of White in here. I'd actually recommend it, because it can be more spell trap removal. Sometimes your Twin Twisters aren't working all that well. Sometimes you just want more level 8 monsters. I also originally tried using Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon, because if it attacks a monster, it not only does piercing, but it does double piercing. So if you could summon this and then get a Bishbaalkin token on the field, you can attack into that. But really, it felt like it wasn't really using Bishbaalkin all that much. Like, there's a lot of ways to put a 0 token or a 0 monster on your opponent's side of the field without using this guy. But if you really wanted to and get that true, like, first turn kill without having to wait a turn to get Big Bang Shot, that can do that. And Manju will help with that, same with the Chaos form. Of course, like I mentioned, you've got Synchro monsters. There's more Link monsters that you can make if you want to make Topological Bomber or Gaia Saber. Really anything that comes out after the fact that's Link 3 or 4. As long as this isn't banned, you can make pretty much whatever you want. And then we've just got Raigeki. You'd be a fool not to play it, and I'm kind of foolish. Pot of Desires is decent with this deck because you don't need anything truly specific except for this, and you play 3 copies of it, and you can search it. I originally had this in here, and it turboed it sometimes, but sometimes I'd end up banishing all of these, or my Big Bang Shot, or all of my summon things, and then I wouldn't be able to do anything. But if you want to take the risk and really make this either a win hard or lose kind of OTK deck, go with that. And then finally, alternatively, if you want to run something instead of Big Bang Shot, Shooting Star Bow Seal, the equipped monster loses 1,000 attack, but can attack directly. And again, you're going to have 11,000, so losing 1,000, you're still going to be able to OTK your opponent. This can be really good if they have something that stops you from attacking their monsters, or I don't know, there's just certain situations. You can also put this in here in addition to Big Bang Shot, so you have some backup in case this gets banished. So there you go, not my usual fare, something a little bit more goofy, a little bit more trollsy, but it's been a while since I've done something like this. You'll have to let me know if you prefer these kind of crazy, inconsistent decks to my more competitive, like, looks at archetypes. Either way, thanks again to Smash for requesting this. Next week, I'll be looking at some magnets. Until then, good luck, and have fun.